going to be talking about branding. And one of the things we talk about here at Give Me the Mic is about you being a highly paid speaker, you being compensated for your value and your worth to the marketplace. And so when we talk about branding, branding goes hand in hand with how you're going to be paid, because it specifically talks about your market perception. Your brand is going to talk about your market perception. How does the market see you? So when we say names like Burberry, when we say names like Cartier, when we say Prada, when we say Ralph Lauren, what pops into your mind? So that's when we're talking about your brand. And when I developed this training, the $1 Million Bankable Brand, there's a lot of people who talk about brand, but they're not being compensated, right? They're not being compensated their value. So when I created this training, when I lived in Europe for 15 years, and so I was around a lot of the luxury brands in Frankfurt, Germany. I was around a lot of the brands. We would go down to the Burberry store. And so when you think about Burberry, and as the names I said earlier with Gucci, like Burberry was established in 1856, and Fendi was established in 1925 in Rome, and Ralph Lauren was 1965, 67 when Ralph Lauren created Polo. So one of the things that I found out, there are 5 brand builders, and we're going to talk about them and go through it in the manual. There are 5 brand builders, and we're going to break down each of the 5. So your name, your universal appeal, your standards and quality, your pride and self-worth in your brand, and then your pricing. When Ralph Lauren started Polo, he was working for another fashion house. He leveraged their brand to build his brand. So a lot of times, a lot of speakers ask me and they say, well, I'm just getting started. I don't have that big brand, but you've been doing something for the last 10, 15, 20 years. We can borrow the leverage from there. So even though you're a new speaker, the expertise that you have is not new. Does that make sense? So even though you're a new speaker, the expertise that you have is not new. So I'm really excited. So we're going to talk and invest some time looking at your brand today. So get your manual and let's go right into it. Let's go. Let's look at page 7.